This area really known for its huge array of restaurants, so the economic impact of the coronavirus is really being felt here.
We're going to lose about 3,600 restaurants of the 16,000 that were there March 1st.
Restaurants and stores are slowly starting to reopen following coronavirus guidelines. But as you mentioned, a lot of businesses will not be reopening.
Normally, as you said, on a warm fall night, this place would be packed with New England Patriots fans watching Monday Night Football. But the COVID curfew has thrown a penalty flag at all restaurants.
Seats in Boston restaurants are down 48%. Even worse in Cambridge at 75%. Two of the worst dips in the country.
The impact of COVID on the restaurant industry was devastating to go through it.
There is no customers. We had employees that had families that we needed to support.
If we continue, we have to decide to go aggressively, but the COVID make us not be able to.
COVID definitely impacted because restaurants during that time, obviously we couldn't see anybody inside, so cafeteria was trying to go heavy on takeout, which is what a lot of the restaurants around here try to rely on. As a lot of people know, a lot of the restaurants on Newbury Street and in Boston generally, a lot have closed.
Just we're going to save and send several to this, and then the other one that I want. Of unemployment is so low that that's why workers are having a hard time in restaurants.
Well, you know, before the pandemic, the restaurant industry was just growing at a very gradual rate, and there was a lot of stability, although restaurants have high turnover rates. Pandemic hit and half of all restaurant workers were unemployed.
The cost of the rent is, that never changed throughout all of COVID. If anything, it actually increased. But also the cost on food, alcohol, supplies, everything.
So the biggest issue that I had with the expense was the landlord. Not being able to come up with an agreement, having him giving me a break, or understanding my situation, my proposal of shutting down, wait and see what happens after. So I bought this property about 6-7 years ago. I'm a landlord, so that makes a big difference. So the math works really well here.
This is good news. You may have noticed more new restaurants are opening up, and food industry experts say it's absolutely true.
A lot of these new openings are actually replacing businesses that closed during the pandemic.
One day I was having an employee meal and I was making a traditional Peruvian dish, and I came to the idea of why don't I introduce these Peruvian ingredients into Italian cuisine. So that's how the concept of Taranta actually evolved. So we started to use Peruvian ingredients, and we created this marriage of Peruvian Italian. My wife is Italian, so we make that synchronicity very well put together.
When Eva opened, it was American with a Mediterranean fusion. However, we're switching to completely Mediterranean. So we're creating a new vibe, and along with a lot of the work that's been done to this space since it was cafeteria, you look around, especially up here, it's greener, it's lighter, the vibe is lighter, the vibe is, I want to hang out with my friends all day here. It's more welcoming, I would say.
So Washoku Renaissance was the concept behind Kamakura. Kamakura is a restaurant name and also my hometown to represent this is not Kyoto, because most of people think about Japanese cuisine from Kyoto. That is true, but Kamakura has longer history as the, in the dietary culture in Japan.
I've been in the restaurant industry for over 15 years, and you get used to the times of years and the types of restaurants, when it's supposed to be busy, when it's supposed to be slow. So you have a sense of if you're doing okay as a business. And the last 2 or 3 years have really taken that all, thrown it in a box, shook it up, and we had no idea. So I think now we're starting to see some of the normalized trends of, okay, we should be busy this week. Okay, it's okay to be a little slow this week. But we're still kind of figuring that out now, and I don't think anyone's figured that out. I think the economy is still kind of reeling from what happened 3 years ago.
For restaurant workers, a pandemic, a future pandemic, will still create the same kinds of fear, but at least they will have been through it once. I think that will help restaurants, and the people who own restaurants perhaps will realize how they need to shift more quickly into the delivery mode.
I'm fascinated by why people are successful, and I like to ask them, well, why you? And if someone was to ask me that, tenacity is, I'm not a guy who's going to sit home, and I love a good challenge. And so I would say what helped us is my tenacity along with the amazing people I work with. I mean, that was really, you got to see people for true colors. You got to see them really who they were, and I was just tickled to be around some really great people. So I'm in the second part of my career. My first part is I owned a small, kind of fancier restaurant, and I had it for 20 years. I opened it when I was 26. You want some goals for yourself, go for that. Learned a lot, and you know, by the end of it, I was kind of ready for a new challenge, and this is my new challenge. I'm very passionate about barbecue. I'm a member of a world champion barbecue team. We're led by this guy, Chris Hart. He's an amazing pit master. And so I wanted this challenge, and running a multi-unit group is a lot different than running a single unit. There's different challenges, some same, some different. So a lot of different challenges. So for me and my business partner, we want to grow this to about 10 units. Still keeping the quality, the hospitality that we've had with 1 unit, 2 units, 6 units. So that's going to be kind of our challenge, and to grow it.
So as of right now, we're in the middle of redoing our menu actually. So we're essentially going full Mediterranean. We're still trying to slowly get away from the American. But hopefully within the next couple of months, we'll be able to do a full menu change.
I mean, Tambo is still a baby. It's probably 4 years old, and it will keep going. And hopefully, we can open another location. We have a team. I personally would like to continue with some projects of culinary tourism, taking groups of people to Peru, to Spain, to Italy. On culinary adventures, and continuing supporting the Santa Cruz Lodge, the project in Peru. I travel more, spend more time with family. You realize that COVID was a very different time for a lot of people. So you think twice before you're making an investment. You're more careful about things.
I'm a guy who kind of just keeps going, and I get an idea and I pick it up and play with it, and maybe I'll take it farther, and maybe I won't.
It definitely opened up my eyes to how some owners can still be so passionate, even at the level that they're at, about everything that goes into the restaurant. Day in, day out, is always here and always trying to perfect the craft, which a lot of people have, lost their touch at that point.